Your Honor, please court on behalf of Mr. Hoffman, we would at this time acknowledge receipt of the indictment in this matter, waive any time requirements relative to service, waive a reading of the indictment in open court, and at this time it is my understanding that Mr. Hoffman is prepared to enter a plea of guilty to all counts.
And Mr. Hoffman, do you understand everything that's been said here today?
Yes.
It's been indicated to me it's your desire at this time to enter a guilty plea to counts 1 and counts 2 of the indictment, charges of aggravated murder and unclassified felony. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
It's also been indicated to me it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 3, an additional charge of aggravated murder under a different statute, an unclassified felony. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
It's also been indicated to me it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 4, a charge of aggravated burglary, a first-degree felony. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
You desire to enter a guilty plea to count 5, charge of kidnapping, a first-degree felony, correct?
Yes.
And is it your desire to enter a guilty plea to count 6, a charge of rape, a first-degree felony?
Yes.
And to count 7, a charge of tampering with evidence, a third-degree felony?
Yes.
And it's your desire to enter a guilty plea to counts 8, 9, and 10, charges of abuse of corpse, fifth-degree felonies, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything the defendant would like to say on his own behalf, or anything counsel for the defendant would like to put on the record before the court passes sentence?
Your Honor, Mr. Hoffman has asked me to make a brief statement. And that is simply, the family deserves to know that this was a random burglary that went terribly, terribly wrong. No one person, no family was singled out. It's tragic. Can't undo what is done. We apologize. Thank you, Your Honor.
Finding the pleas to be voluntary, the court accepts the pleas and finds the defendant guilty.
One of the victims has given me permission to read her statement for her, and I can read my statement first, if there's no objections.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm reading a statement that was given to me and prepared by Sarah Maynard. It says, Sarah's typed letter. She writes, "This has changed my whole life and my family's life too. My mom constantly worked, so I never got to see her, and I never really talked to my brother Cody. This is so sickening, Matthew, to know you even had the guts to do this to a family. Stephanie was a great woman too. She watched Cody and I whenever my mom needed her to. All I'm thinking about is how sick and disgusting Matthew is. I will never forget till this day about Cody and my mom, Tina. I think Matthew was really stupid for killing the dog too. What could we have possibly done to you for us to get treated like this, Matthew? There is no reason why Matthew should have killed my family. I knew you killed my family, Matthew, when you kidnapped me. I kept asking you if you killed my mom and brother, and you said, don't worry about it. He will have to suffer the rest of his life, like we had to suffer. How could you possibly do this to a loving and caring family? Matthew, you must have been planning this for a really long time because you have to have skills and time to do such a thing to someone like us. I know for a fact that he didn't do this by himself. I don't understand why Matthew is such a coward and can't tell us who else was involved in this. From what I know and heard Matthew tell us, I was talking to someone else. Also, Matthew, you had told me that someone dropped you off at our house because there was no other vehicles in our driveway besides my mom's truck and Stephanie's Jeep. I hope you didn't make up the letter, Matthew, because we were going to find out the information anyway. Matthew, I wonder if this stuff is even going through your head, saying to yourself, why did I even do this? Because now I'm in prison for life.